Hey guys, welcome to BlockchainX. In this video, we are going to see about real-world asset tokenization. As you know, if you are into blockchain space, you would have known about RWA, which is real-world asset tokenization, which is being super trending in market right now. And there are multiple projects already out in market, which are specifically focusing on RWA development. So in this video, let's see more details about what is RWA, what is RWA tokenization, and how the market is evolving around it, and which are the top projects focusing around it. Right. So first, if you see a real world asset is like any physical property in the real world. It can be a real estate property, it can be a art, or it can be a bonds or securities of a company, equities of a company. So these are all the physical assets which are present. So tokenizing this real world asset is called real world asset tokenization. So wherein you bring in more liquidity for the real world property. So this is a basic term of real world asset tokenization. So here blockchain acts as a technology for bringing up this tokenization part. So wherein you can convert the real world asset into a ERC20 based token or into a ERC721 based NFTs. So with this tokens and NFTs, like you can bring up more value to the liquidity. So next, let's see the advantages of real world asset tokenization. So I hope you are able to see my screen, and let me take you through a few of the advantages. So the first advantage I would say is improved liquidity. So if you see blockchain as a technology, when the real world asset is brought onto a blockchain, so if you see, it reaches out to a wider audience and it increases the chances for bringing in more liquidity for the asset. So that's how it's like blockchain acts as a technology for increasing the liquidity. Next, if you see, if we can bring in fractional ownership for the property. So let's take an example of a real estate property. So in the physical world, in the traditional market, if you see, the process of bringing in fractionalized ownership is really difficult and very hard to track. But with the advantage of blockchain, so we can bring in smart contracts like 1155, which supports multiple NFTs copies for a single property. So whereby you bring in like multiple ownerships for the single property. So in that case, if you see, you get all these details stored on blockchain. So wherein you can track the ownership of the property securely on blockchain. So hereby, like we increase the fractional ownership of the property, and all the other materials like lending, borrowing, and staking around this property can be done through this fractional ownership. So this is an advantage of blockchain over there. Then this improves the accessibility of the property. So if you see, the blockchain market is like available 24 hours, and unlike traditional market, which is available only on the working hours, and even on the weekends also, the blockchain market is open, which improves the accessibility at any time which you want for interacting with the property. So this is that. And the last one which I would say is security and transparency. So this is the main use case of blockchain, which we bring in with the real world asset. Wherein all the transactions are stored on blockchain, and as you know, once the data is stored on blockchain, it cannot be deleted and it can be altered. Wherein when you alter a transaction, a new transaction happens, and there is an audit log for the old transaction, also the new transaction. So hereby this increases the security and transparency for tracking the real world asset on the blockchain. Next, let's see what are the assets which we can tokenize from the real world. So the first example is real estate. So as I explained before, so real estate is the major use case how we can do real world asset tokenization. And here if you see, as I explained before, so there are numerous ways what you can do with the property. You can like bring it onto the blockchain, convert it as NFTs, and then you can do fractional NFTs with multiple owners. And then you can do like multiple operations like lending, staking, and borrowing with the ownership. So this brings a wide opportunity for the real estate market. And then the second use case is commodities. So commodities like gold, nickel, copper. So right now, if you see, there is a very good traction for this also in the market, wherein people are bringing the commodities to blockchain, and with the price value which is there in the real world. So this brings up a wider liquidity for the real world commodities. And the next use case I would say is the bonds and equities tokenization. So take an example of a startup or an enterprise company which is being listed on a stock exchange and it's being traded. You can bring the same thing legally on the blockchain itself. So wherein you bring in more liquidity for the company and see for raising more money for the company, wherein you can sell your shares as a proper audited way through the blockchain. So there are multiple governments and regulatory authorities like coming forward for approving this kinds of asset tokenization, wherein you bring a company to the blockchain and you tokenize it. So notably, if you see, Swiss government is like doing like various steps to tokenize these real world assets, and also Indian government is like in talks for bringing in these kinds of asset tokenizations. So the next use case I would say is the art tokenization. So again, as you know, like art has been like the major industry which has been profited from like NFTs. So this brings up also a wider use case with the art tokenization, wherein you can tokenize the art as a physical copy. You can bring it to the blockchain. Like you can make people to trade over the NFTs, and the physical product gets shipped together with the real world asset which is being traded. So this is a very good use case. And then the last use case I would say is the intellectual property tokenization. So as you know now, multiple companies like are coming with new innovative ideas and they are getting these IPs registered. So these IPs, which are unique for each of the idea, can be brought to blockchain, and this IP can be traded at a good value in blockchain. So there are many blockchains coming forward to support this, and Ethereum, Avalanche, Binance Smart Chain, Polygon. So these are like various good blockchains coming up with this unique use case. And the next thing would be let's see about the challenges in real world asset tokenization. So the first main challenges which we see now is the regulatory concerns. So right now, if you see, there are multiple governments taking steps initially to regularize this, approve this across the country. And from what we have seen in the market, Swiss government has been actively involved with approving real world asset tokenization projects with their FINMA regulatory. So if you see, we even have in BlockchainX, we have few of our clients from Swiss market who are doing real world asset tokenizations with luxury products. They are doing with RWA, with commodities. So this has been a good place for them to start with real world asset tokenization projects. And if you see, multiple other governments are still coming up through the market, and even Indian government has stepped up to support real estate markets with real estate RWA tokenization. And also Dubai government, UAE government is like actively exploring with the multiple use cases of RWA development. So hopefully when this market opens up and when multiple governments, leading governments like United States and UK, China, so when these big players come onto the market, so that's when the real potential of real world asset tokenization will come into play. So as you know, with what I have explained till now, you would have understood that real world asset tokenization is not just with the crypto side of blockchain, but it's concerned with the actual asset in the physical world, wherein we need the legal support of the present government to support the project to bring it onto blockchain and liquidize the assets. So that is the first major part. And next I would say is the challenges in the market adoption. So if you see blockchain as a technology, even though it's like coming up to multiple people, there is still a wider market of audience wherein the blockchain technology has not been reached out. So that is the major gap wherein which is pending or holding with the people for adopting real world asset tokenization. So as we start educating people how to use blockchain as a technology, how to use the platforms, and how real world asset tokenization is like more helpful for raising liquidity and things around it. So that is when the market will be expanding. And the last point I would say is to choose the right tech partner for real world asset tokenization. So if you see, there are multiple paths involved with the real world asset tokenization development. So first part would be tokenizing the property. In that itself, you need to choose according to your business use case whether we need to go with the ERC20 type of tokens for your property, or if you want to do an NFT kind of tokenization for your property. This is the first step, but there are multiple other steps, like what do you want to do after doing the tokenization, like whether you want to do an NFT marketplace for trading the NFTs minted, or if you want to do an exchange platform where you trade your assets and where you give the option to trade your assets. And then if you want to do a staking platform where people can stake your assets and get rewards in return. So there are multiple use cases wherein like we can try out inside this real world asset tokenization itself. So choosing your best top real world asset tokenization company is like very much crucial for your project. Now let's see a basic process of a real world asset tokenization project. So this is just an example of a small scale RWA project. Don't get this as this is only the fixed flow for you to go through. So this is for a small scale project which are starting with a limited asset. So first one is to choose your asset, like what type of asset are you going to tokenize? Is it going to be a real world project or is it going to be an art based tokenization? So choose your asset and how many, what is the distribution of the asset which you're going to do. So next one is choosing the blockchain which you want to go with. So this depends majorly because based on this, the liquidity is going to vary. So if you choose a blockchain like Ethereum, the volume is high and you will have more liquidity for the project. But if you choose a new upcoming blockchain, then that would be a case wherein you will be having lesser liquidity. So choose your blockchain accordingly and also choose it based on your use case, like what type of project are you going to tokenize. Next one would be to choose the type of what type of tokenization are you going to do, whether it's going to be an ERC20 token minting or is it going to be an NFT kind of tokenization. And the fourth one I would say would be verification and compliance. So this stage you will need to go with an audit company, so wherein you need to get the project audited, like you need to confirm whether it's up to place, and also you need to check with the legal company, and you'll need to see the possibilities of talking to the legal company on your location. And the next step I would say will be creating or minting the token on the mainnet, that is the actual blockchain. So once it is created, then you can approach the legal framework again in your place and show them for getting the approvals and all the regulatory approvals. So once the regulations is approved, next step is distributing the token. So wherein you can list the project to trade on an exchange, or you can do a private sale or a specific closed group sale and see for bringing into raising liquidity. And then you can see for bringing it on an exchange where you open it to the public for trading. And the last step would be to work around with other real world asset use cases, like as I mentioned before. You can do on a marketplace, you can do a lending borrowing platform where people can use the tokenized asset and have an actual value for that. So the next would be the top, let's see about the top blockchains actively involving in real world asset tokenization. So the first one would be Ethereum, as we see good traction over there for real world asset projects, and multiple good projects have already been choosing with the Ethereum. So the first option for us would be Ethereum, and the second option for us would be Polygon blockchain. So Polygon has been like actively funding real world asset tokenization projects, and it would be a great start if you want to go with the Polygon blockchain. And the next one would be Avalanche blockchain. So Avax is also actively involved in real world asset tokenization projects, and you can see a good number of projects already being created with Avax blockchain. So all these three blockchains, Ethereum, Polygon, and Avalanche, like EVM based blockchains, which the smart contracts are based on Solidity program language, and the code almost works on one chain, would work on the other chain also. So probably on an initial stage you can start going with a single blockchain, and in future if you want you can do a cross-chain bridge and see for bringing the asset from one blockchain to another. So that is also possible. And the last option I would say would be with Hyperledger Fabric, so which is a private blockchain. So these three blockchains which I said before, Ethereum, Polygon, Avalanche, are public blockchains, and Hyperledger Fabric is a private blockchain. So again, you don't need to worry about the gas fees and other public blockchain issues with the chain. wherein you can focus only on your tokenization project, and you can see for writing custom smart contracts with this private blockchain, which is being used, which is going to be used with a specific group of framework. Maybe take an example of a government kind of project. So wherein government is trying to tokenize real world assets like real estate in their country. So in that case, they can see for adopting a private blockchain, which is only present for the government, and it is used by people only inside the government, so that is the specific country, and which is also being used by specific government bodies only specifically. So with these kinds of custom requirements, you can customize the private blockchain like specifically according to your use case. And there are also many other private blockchains which are actively involved, like Hedera Hashgraph, you would have heard about. So they are also actively like involved with the real world asset tokenization projects. All right, now let's see the future of real world asset tokenization. So I have few inputs from our side. So these are a few verified companies who have given their research for real world asset tokenization. So Boston Consulting Group is an expert in like analyzing the markets, and they have like given a report that they expect the growth of the real world asset tokenization to grow by 10% by 2030, and with a market cap of nearly 16 trillion value. So that is going to be really huge. And for achieving this kind of huge adoption will definitely lead the legal bodies to get involved actively. So if the legal bodies get involved actively with supporting the real world asset tokenization projects, so then this market cap which BCG has given is like really easily achievable. Next, the report given by 21.co company tells us that the market could reach 10 trillion in the bull run case, and even if that is a bear run case, so the market would still reach 3.5 trillion by 2030. And this again is the huge value. And as I mentioned before, it's the legal bodies and the market adoption, so which brings up to this value. Hopefully this reaches soon. All right, so I hope you would have got basic knowledge about what is RWA, real estate tokenization, real world asset tokenization, and here we are a blockchain development company, and as you see here, BlockchainX, we are a leading blockchain development company in the market, and we have been actively working with multiple real world asset tokenization projects. So we have been working with multiple use cases like real estate, pharma related asset tokenization, luxury asset tokenization, commodity tokenization. So there are multiple use cases which we have hands-on worked on. And we have a team size of 100 plus developers located in India and US. And we have been like working on almost all the blockchains present in the market. So if you are looking for RWA consulting, please do reach out to us. You can reach out to us on our email ID contact@blockchainx.tech, and also on our website www.blockchainx.tech. I would also add few more notes over here. So we have pre-developed solutions for real world asset tokenizations like NFT marketplace, lending solution, borrowing solution, staking product, farming product. So we have a list of tokenization related products with us, which will be helpful for any entrepreneur who wants to start a real world asset tokenization project. So if you come to us, like we'll be able to get your project up to the market from ranging from at least like 5 to 10 days. So that would be an instant start for you. So reach out to us. We are looking forward to work with you. Thank you.